Hello?
Hello, Tonya?
Hey, yeah, hey.
This is Izzy from MMA Jam Live. How you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for taking time to come on with us. It's good to chat with you again.
That's all good. I'm happy to anytime.
And I promise you this time there will be no Eric Holden questions. None at all.
That's cool.
Unless you want them. I mean, I didn't make any preparations with that guy, you know.
No, I'm good. I'm good with just your questions.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. They'll be professional. There won't be any questions about ridiculous stuff that he acts, so I can assure you that.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm ready.
All right. Well, congratulations again by the way, on a successful Invicta debut at Invicta 7 this past December.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Put in my time for that one, so I had to win it.
Oh, it definitely showed. Now you've had numerous fantastic performances in your career, but I personally believe that was your most complete performance to date. How would you How would you critique your performance on that night?
I don't know. You know, I think I went in really level-headed. I was ready to go. I wasn't stressed out or anything beforehand, you know. And then pretty much when I got there, you know, I knew she was a little bit bigger girl, and it was going to be a tough fight. And I was looking for that toss right off the bat. As you can see, I tried to take it down. But I was planning on hip tossing her when she backstripped me. So, you know, at first I was a little freaked out, like, shoot, I'm probably going to lose this. But then I kind of calmed down. I knew she was going to waste a lot of energy, and I knew she wasn't stronger than me and didn't hit harder than me. Pretty much knew she wasn't as good as me, you know.
Awesome. Now you mentioned she was bigger than you. Was there ever any plan to drop down to 125, or do you feel like 135 is just the place to be for you?
No, I definitely want to be 125, but there's just no fights, no opportunities.
Definitely, we'll get to that here shortly. Now, the win was actually your fourth in a row, and that's the second time in your pro career that you've been on such a streak. Professionally speaking, do you feel as though this is things are beginning to click for you?
Yeah, you know, I think that I always had this feeling like I'm just ahead of my time. You know, I feel like the same thing in wrestling, and you know, they say the same thing about me in wrestling. You know, I'm a pioneer or a trend or something like that. You know, and it kind of sucks because you know I quit wrestling right when the wrestling freestyle got into Olympics, and went over to MMA, and now here I am putting my time, and you know, all these big promotions are signing girls and giving decent paydays, and I feel like I put in all that time and struggled, and all these new girls are just running right past. It kind of sucks, but you know, I feel like I'm good and I'm ready to go, and I'm definitely not too old or not out of date or anything. No. I doubt half them girls out there can even try to pull a whooping on me. So, you know, I think that I think I'm still in my prime and ready to go. There just ain't the opportunities that are right for me, I guess.
Now, you've had a notoriously difficult time getting fights. As a matter of fact, your last fight was, you know, well over 6 months ago. If you had to pinpoint a reason as to why you haven't been as active as you liked, what would it be?
It'd be nothing on my part. I'm always ready and willing, and you know, it'd be an awesome day to, you know, get a fight and actually have some time to prep and some notice in advance. You know, that's very rare in my case. I usually take a lot of short notice fights because them are the opportunities that come up, and they call me because I know I'll take it, and you know, it either comes out my way or doesn't. I think I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why I'm not getting the opportunities that I should be getting. I don't know.
So basically what you're saying is if a promoter goes up to you calls you right now and says, hey, we need you, you know, in 2 or 3 weeks, you'd be 100% prepared. Yeah,
I'm always prepared. Are you kidding? I've been doing this since I was so young. My body, I'm in a condition like, I think the average person, you know, they don't train like I've trained for all these years, you know, since I was in junior high and stuff. I think that my body's just automatically at a certain condition, you know, and that's the way I normally am, and then, you know, I get better from there. So, you know, I've had way short notice fights. You know, when I fought Alexis Davis, I had a 4-day notice. When I fought Sarah McMahon, I had 9-day notice. when I fought Anita Rodriguez, I had 2-day notice. You know, I just take, I'll fight anybody. I'll take whatever somebody's want to offer, unless it's, you know, definitely not a good deal. You know, I'm not going to take something that pays nothing and just pushes me backwards in my career. But, you know, if it's a good offer and it's a good deal and it's a good fight, you know, I feel like I can be ready, you know, in short notice, and I'm just going to go with that. It's all in my head anyway.
No, I feel like it has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with your level of being prepared. I'm actually glad you came on here, because there's a lot, you know, there's been a growing debate in MMA circles about the type of female fighters that the UFC is bringing in, and the fact that certain girls receive better opportunities than others. Where do you stand on that whole debate?
You know, it sucks. I watch, just throw it out there, you know, I don't have nothing against Ashley Evans-Smith, but why the hell is she signed with WSOF and not me? Like, in my opinion, I'm the top girl that isn't signed with a big promotion right now, the top of the line, and I think that it's amazing that these girls get signed. And, you know, I know WSOF's got the money to spend. They just aren't being serious about, you know, offers they give me. I've seen what they pay Jessica Aguilar. You know, she's getting off pretty good. I'll take that. You know, and same thing with Legacy. You know, I know Holly Holm gets paid by Access TV. Legacy doesn't pay her purse, you know, so bring it on, Access TV, you know, whatever channel they're on, you know. So I'm you know, I think that, you know, I think it just comes down to what the popularity is at the time, and I'm sure Ashley got her shot because she beat that one dude, which is whatever. But, you know, I would have fought him for $20,000 too, you know. Shit. I'll still fight him for $20,000, you know. It's you know, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I think that I know I don't fit the mold and don't fit the, you know, they tell me, oh, this fight just isn't for you. You know, we were looking for somebody more local, this or that. But you're bringing a girl over from Russia. What do you mean you're looking for somebody local? It just doesn't make sense to me. And you know, I don't understand what the problem is. But I don't know. They sure as hell call me when they need somebody last minute because they know I'll fight. So I mean, it's kind of messed up. At one time I want to be like, nope, suck it, I'm not fighting. But I would never.
That's fantastic. Now, going more in depth with that, we recently, India Gomes recently stated in an interview with Tatame that to be, and this is a quote, to be in the UFC, you have to show your ass, and that you know, they should just put in some strippers to brawl in there. It would be better. Now, while those comments were a bit harsh, it wasn't like it was far from the truth. As a female fighter, was that a case of India Gomes just saying what everyone else was thinking?
You know, to some extent, I understand what she's saying, and I hate it too, and it sucks. On the other hand, I think that a lot of them girls, yeah, they might promote themselves. I don't have nothing against the way people promote themselves. You know, some of them girls are, I mean, look at the 15-pound division, man. Them girls got signing bonuses. They're riding the Tough House. You know, they got some amazing stuff happening, you know, and by no means is it just because they're all cute little girls that wear cute little outfits. You know, I think that they're still fighters, and I think that's a kind of an ignorant comment because, you know, some of these girls do fight, and, you know, I think if I had, if I had the same look as them or whatever, I might go that route too. You know, you got to do what you got to do to promote yourself, and everybody has their own different image and different style, and just like in life, you know, and mine's just off the beaten path, you know, and I think that they're looking for these cute little girls to sell to the world, and you know, that's only going to last so long, and then, you know, you're going to have some other fighters. That's why, you know, to me, I watch these girls getting signed, and, you know, they might have a great record, but they've never fought anybody in the U.S. The competition's here in the U.S. If you aren't fighting girls from the U.S., how are you even ranked? You know what I mean? How does that even balance out? I can go beat a bunch of nobodies too, and if I was the only girl fighter in my country, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. And then they sign them and bring them over here, and, you know, some of them are cute and whatnot, but it amazes me how they're getting signed, and you know, just the fact that I feel like I'm still ranked above a lot of these chicks being signed, whether they got great records or whether they're local or whether they're this or whether they're that. I still think that I'm a higher ranked fighter, so I should definitely, you know, get that opportunity first.
You know, I think with India, I think India was talking about the UFC 135-pound women's division. You know, I believe in that same interview she gave credit to the 115 women who actually do have a bunch of great fighters. But look at this. I mean, this is a case in point now. You and Lauren Murphy have the biggest names in terms of women who are not in the UFC. Yet women like Alexandra Albu, Alex Dufresne, Tina Ladekmaki, and Melina Dudiva. Now, I mean, no offense to those ladies, but I've never even heard of most of them, let alone even know how to pronounce their names. Now, what do you think it will take to get the recognition you deserve?
I mean, is it not obvious what's going on though? Like these girls, that's what I'm saying. I've never heard of them neither. I have not heard of half of these girls, and they're already signed without even a fight to get in. Who they proven themselves, you know, against. I just don't get it, you know, and I see the same thing on the rankings. That's why I'm always so pissed off about the rankings, because I feel like, just like that dipshit said, I had to delete him on my Facebook because I don't understand how girls get ranked above me when they haven't fought anybody. Just because they're signed with the UFC, then all of a sudden, or just because they're signed with Invicta, all of a sudden they're top ranked girl, and that doesn't make sense to me. I don't go down in ranking when other people haven't beat anybody to get ahead of me or beat me at that, you know. So I really don't understand that part either. The whole thing just amazes me, and you know, I don't know if it's my manager, I don't know if it's the image I have or how forward I am or whatnot, but you know, I love Elite XC for that, because they loved our personalities and they pushed our personalities, and they were just an amazing promotion to fight for, to be honest. So.
Well, there's a growing term. There's a term that's been around for a while in the forums everywhere, MMA forums everywhere, and it's called a Zuffa zombie. You know, anybody that's just mesmerized by Zuffa, everything is all about the UFC. I mean, case in point, I think we could all agree that Jessica Aguilar is the number one ranked strawweight, you know, in the world, and yet she's not going to ever be recognized by the UFC. Like, their woman is going to be the number one fighter, even though everybody else feels like Aguilar's number one. I mean, it just blows my mind that that's the way things work nowadays.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I think, and that's what I think we're going to end up seeing. The one who wins this tournament is going to be ranked number one in the world, and Jessica might get the number 2 spot. Otherwise, she might be 20th. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, I go down the rankings crazy amount. A bunch of turds got to fight each other, and next thing you know, I drop in the rankings. So it's weird. But yeah, I don't know. I think that it's kind of ridiculous I mean, UFC has all these fighters anyway, and then they kind of hoard them all, and they're all, you know, that's the only thing that really scares me about signing with them and signing with any promotion out there right now, you know, and you sign an exclusive and then they don't even fight you, you know. All these girls sign with WSOF, they aren't even fighting. They have a ton of fights, well, not a ton of fights, but they have enough fights to where they put girl fights on every card. I just don't understand why they're not jumping on the bandwagon or getting in on this before all the girls are signed up by UFC. And then there's enough fights out there. I just don't understand why they're not playing into it and putting more time and effort and stuff into jumping on the women's MMA.
Yeah, you know, it does seem like the most popular UFC women's fighters are the ones we see more often than not inside the octagon. I mean, now that I think about it, you know, and I really think about it, it seems like we see the same people over and over, and yet, you know, there's room to grow in the women's bantamweight division, and more people not being brought in. And if they are, it's girls that we've never even heard of from different countries, you know.
Yeah.
Now I came across. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, now I came across a list on a website of the top 10 women not fighting in the UFC. It was, you know, pretty interesting. You came in at number 4. What has the support of the fans been like, and how much does it mean to you to be getting that much support?
You know, I think my fans are pretty cool. I have a lot of fans, or at least Facebook friends, for not having as much support as I should. I'm about to delete all them fools. No, you know, I definitely don't have the army or anything like that like them other girls have. You know, I ain't getting people fired from convenience stores for not selling me a sour spicy pickle. You know what I mean? So I don't really know what that's like, but you know, I enjoy the Twitter between some of my fans and some of the guys from UFC or some of the other promoters out there. I think that I definitely have a unique group of fans, and you know, they're all really loud and aggressive and say funny ass shit, and they're always posting stuff, and I can't help but favorite it, even though I know that's probably what's keeping me out of the UFC because all that shit that's going on. But you know, it's funny, and you know, I don't know, I can't help it.
Yeah, but it's not like you wouldn't be the first outspoken, you know, UFC fighter. Like, I mean, they have quite a few. I mean, you have Chael Sonnen, who was borderline offensive when he was fighting Anderson Silva the first and second time, talking about a whole country, about, you know, just borderline racist comments. But he's the poster boy of the promotion, even though he failed a steroid test and all that stuff. And yet here you are, you know, you've just been handling your business. I mean, so I don't buy that whole
you see the same with Ronda Rousey right now too, though. You know, with the cyborg comments that Ronda made. You know, somebody makes a comment. Remember when that Fallon chick that dude was fighting, and everybody, that one dude got cut from UFC for making a comment about him being a dude or something. I don't know what it was, what happened, but I mean, it's the same thing going on right now with Cyborg. And all the comments that are being made towards her, instead of, you know, kicking Ronda out like he would any other fighter, you know, he just backed her up, and he said the same thing. And it's, you know, you can tell who's the favorite, you know, and man, wouldn't it be nice to be the favorite? I'll just take a sponsorship from UFC. I'm sure that's enough. Just one sponsorship.
It's funny because I know exactly what you're talking about. Matt Mitrione had made a comment about Alan Fox, and he got, like, he didn't get cut or anything, but he got, you know, he was in big trouble. And yet Ronda talks about, you know, Cyborg, and there's not even a slap on the wrist. I mean, it's just, right. I know exactly what you're talking about. And yes, it would be good to be the favorite, but there's only room for one. And, you know, obviously in that case is Ronda Rousey. She can do whatever the heck she wants, apparently.
Yeah. Man, I miss out every time. I guess I'm not kissing the right ass every time. I don't know how it works.
That's something most people, I mean, I guess you got to be the right kind of person. You just don't fit the mold. You're too real to be in the position where you have to kiss that much ass to get things.
Yeah, I gotta have one of them normal jobs where I gotta work every day, barely get to train. Shoosh. I tried to get on that team takedown, though, and they're like, no, we're not accepting anybody else. I'm like, damn, that would have been pretty cool, just to be able to train all the time. And I don't know. I think I could get a good run at it. I don't think there's anybody that can beat me if I'm training full-time and had a great camp and had all the, you know, support and all the backing like all the, you know, the top ones do. So I think that I definitely would, I think I can win it, but that's just me. I'm a little biased.
Well, yeah, I mean, anybody that, you know, you're supposed to feel that way. I mean, if you get a good training camp, and of course, I mean, that's a lot that, you know, there's a lot of people that just are not able to do that, and it shows. But for you, fortunately for you, I mean, you've had a lot more positive outcomes than not, and that's not even being able to train 100%.
Well, thank God I can fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd have a lot of losses on my record, probably.
Now, speaking of fighting, now you've had issues in the past with one Miesha Tate, who's actually 1-2 in the UFC, and yet continues to get marquee marketing and fight placement. She now heads to Japan to fight Rin Nakai, an undefeated Japanese fighter. What is your opinion on Tate continuing to get big fights despite more bad performances than good ones inside the octagon?
Hang on just a second. I'm across this rain in here. I'm sorry. Now what now?
I was saying you've had issues with Miesha Tate in the past who's had, you know, she's 1-2 in the octagon, and yet she continues to get, you know, good fight placements, marquee marketing. She's heading to Japan to fight Rin Nakai, an undefeated Japanese fighter. What is your opinion on Tate continuing to get big fights despite more bad performances than good ones inside the octagon?
Ain't that amazing? You know, I don't get it. I think that there's quite a few girls that, you know, should get cut already, but, you know, I don't understand. There's so many amazing fighters out there, and there's so many up and coming, and there's so many that are out there and just never got the chance to fight. You know, I think that when it comes to me and Misha got to run right around me, never had to fight me. You know, I tried for years, and she wouldn't fight me. Her management just kept saying, you know, she ain't ready for you, and then all of a sudden she got her Strikeforce fight, you know, and it kind of really sucks because I feel like there's a lot of people that I could beat. I just never had the opportunity to get to fight them. They just don't want to fight, man. They want to run up there, and of course I'd do the same as Misha. Misha says that, you know, she'll fight Ronda 100 times if UFC wanted her to. Hell yeah, I would too if they're paying me that much, you know. I'd take every single fight they gave me. I wouldn't turn down a single fight. But, you know, I just I don't understand what it is, if she's Shelby's favorite or Dana's favorite or what the deal is, but you know, I think that there's a lot of other girls and girls that are already signed and just sitting on the back burner and waiting, and girls out there that aren't even signed waiting for opportunity, you know?
I wonder if that favoritism rubs off on Brian Caraway. I'm just going on, you know, I don't know. Maybe it does.
Oh yeah, I can't believe he's fighting. That's crazy. I can't believe they find dudes that he could beat.
This is fantastic. You know, I think
Brian. I think Brian rode Misha's coattails and Strikeforce too. You know, I think he's definitely rode his right along with her.
I got to tell you, Tonya, if I had my choice, if I had the decision, you know, I'd probably have you on here every single week.
Why come on every week? Does it pay? No, I'm just kidding.
That's funny. We're still awaiting word on Invicta 8. If you end up on that card, what would make for an ideal opponent? Who would make for an ideal opponent?
I want Laura Murphy's belt. You know what I mean? I want Bob Honchak's belt. I really don't care who I fight. I just want to fight. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not even on that card because they were supposed to give me a contract offer a long time ago, and they still never have. So I don't know if Julie just doesn't like me or if she's got too many other girls she wants to sign or whatnot, but I don't know what the deal is. But I haven't even got an offer from them yet. So, and I don't know. I just don't see that fighting for them is that great either. You know, they're just doing nothing. So, I mean, imagine being in a contract with them, although they don't really hold girls back, I don't think, but, you know, just being in a contract and sitting and waiting and they aren't even throwing events, that's horrible.
Well, with them being, with Invicta, future Invicta events being shown on UFC Fight Pass, do you think that'll change any?
No, I think what they're going to do is they're getting rid of Invicta. UFC does with every single promotion, you know, Pride, WC, Strikeforce. I think that they're teaming up and they'll end up taking it, and then it'll be its little stepping stone to get into UFC, and then eventually it's going to be gone. I just don't see that them sticking around, although I think it's an amazing promotion and stuff and giving the girls some really good coverage. I mean, I think WC was top of the line, top as you can come when it came to amazing fights and you know, entertainment and this and that, and on a great channel and stuff. And you know, I think that it was overtaking UFC, and that's why they, you know, closed that door. So, you know, I just I think that it's just going to get ate up, and I don't really know anybody that gets Fight Pass, and I just don't understand it, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought we were going to get a better TV deal.
Well, that's something I was thinking about. I thought about, like, the UFC potentially buying Invicta down the road. But my question to you is, with the UFC holding what seems like 26 events every week, wouldn't that be good for women's MMA?
I mean, good as if we were fighting on every single card, but, I mean, UFC still has cards that don't even have girl fights on them, and a whole card that not even have one girl fight, and they have all these girls signed, you know? Keep us busy, you know? Keep us busy. Let us go. Let's find out who's the real number one, you know? And the only way that's going to happen is let everybody fight, so.
Yeah, I have to wonder if the UFC is actually 100% behind women fighting. Like, Okay, fine. All the moves that they're making make it seem like they're behind it, but I gotta wonder how much of that is genuine. Like, do they really feel like positive about women's MMA?
I think they're just controlling the situation, controlling what they always do, and every promotion that's really a challenge, you know. And I think that, you know, I think they're just controlling it. They're just getting hold of the reins right now, so they can take it out later and eat up all the girls that are signed with Invicta. Probably just roll right over and be signed with UFC, and you know, just same way they did with Strikeforce when it went out, same way they did with WC when it went out. You know what I mean? I just don't see it lasting. I don't know.
And
it'd be nice.
And that's what
if I was running the UFC show, Dana White should just hire me. If I was one of the matchmakers, I would have at least 1 to 2 girl fights on every single card, even if it's on the undercard, man. Just there's plenty of cards out there. Put these girls to work, you know.
Well, that would be a good idea. Well, what I think what you just described is basically a monopoly where they're just taking over every MMA promotion. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't attempted to buy Bellator by now. But anyway, like, you know, the whole putting 2 female fights every card would make a lot of people happy. Hell, you know, anytime there's a women's fight on the card, it's an automatic nominee for Fight of the Night, which is like unprecedented for you know, MMA, where you have a guarantee. You know, you guarantee that a fight is going to be good, and that's basically what we've seen in the early going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think that'll continue to happen. You know, I think you can get the same thing with the dudes. It just comes with style and matching it up and it being a good match. And I think that the girls are still, even though we're not new, just to be on that stage, I think is amazing for these girls, and everybody wants to bring their A game. You know, everybody wants to come and fight and put on that show. And I'll tell you what, $50,000 in my pocket make me want to punch somebody in the face a couple more times. You know, like, we're throwing down. But, you know.
Now, before I let you go, Tonya, where can we find you again? Can you remind our fans where we can find you on Facebook and Twitter?
Just Google my name or search my name on one of them social websites. And I'm sorry, what?
I feel like you took the easy way on that one.
Yeah. Just search me. You find all kinds of stuff. Everything you need to know and more. That ain't even true, but we'll go with it. But keep that image up. No.
You know what? You have another claim here, Tonya. I don't know if you know this or not. You have a Wikipedia page, and most of the UFC girls do not.
I don't know who wrote that, but half the information is false.
Okay, that's fine, but you still have one. So.
Yeah. I guess I don't ever really pay attention, but I should have one, man. I wrestled for so long, and I was a good wrestler. I was top of the country, and I should have one. People should know who I am. But instead, I don't know. I'm meant to have a normal job, I guess.
Well, I tell you right now, that's how you know you made it. You have a Wikipedia page, whether it's right or wrong, I guess is irrelevant, because most of that is you know, anybody can make contributions to it. So I guess most of it is wrong anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully it's somebody that really knew me.
Probably not.
Just gotta give me a shirt, man. I got a Wikipedia page.
I'm telling you right now, Tonya, it was Eric Holden. I bet you it was Eric Holden.
It's been up for a long time. That fool gets on there and takes information. I'm like, you dummy, that's not my birth date. That's not, I'm older than that. That guy can't even get my record right. Jeez, that guy's moron.
I think the real question is, can he get anything right?
He keeps turning. That's the only reason he wrote that last story on me, because I deleted him from everything. I'm tired of his shit telling me I'm 13th or 14th ranked. And that I need to beat somebody like Holly Holm or this girl or that girl to be on the rankings. I'm like, some girls haven't even beat anybody. They haven't even fought anybody. How do you jump above me on the rankings when you haven't even fought anybody? You haven't even fought anybody that lost to me. So it just, I don't know. It's amazing. But anyway, that guy has me so mad. I had to delete him, and then he went and wrote that story.
Yep, he's the proverbial bridge burner for sure. Now, final question, I promise. One of the fans wants to, you know, usually asks this weird question. it's not like an Eric Holden weird question, but who do you think would win in a battle between a gorilla and an alligator?
Oh, the gorilla.
Okay.
Gorilla would rip that mother apart. Rip his jaw apart.
Yep, you just the chat room is very happy about your response.
I'm telling you right now, I'll whoop an alligator's ass. A gorilla better be able to whoop an alligator's ass.
Oh my God. Oh man, that's amazing. That's funny. Tonya, thank you so much for coming on with us. We definitely have to do this down the road again.
For sure, anytime.
Take care of yourself and have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Thanks.